Yeah, definitely, and that's why it's quite a frustrating result. I think the game was there to win it. I think the performance was there. We deserved more. We deserved definitely more than that. But in the end, that's football. In the end, there are some days where you can create chance after chance, but didn't score. And then it's also about our consistency, about having a better start. Don't try to chase the game in that early phase of the game, and then also about defending set pieces. And therefore, yeah, we are all disappointed. But like I said, we try to keep the positive things. We try to analyze it and make it better next time.
Talk about your sort of selection and the idea up front without Danny, with Georgie playing there and Brian.
Yeah, we had some small issues with Danny. We had issues with Maxime during the week. They weren't able to train fully, so that's why we choose that starting 11. I think they did it well. They had chances. All of them had chances. They created, but in the end, it's for everyone disappointing. We are now happy to have the availability back. I hope this availability creates like competition, and through this competition, everyone stays alive. Everyone is alert for 90 minutes, and that brings us hopefully the consistency.
And obviously, Peru coming off the bench, how's his state in terms of starting again?
I think it's important that he's back. I think he had a good start after a long injury. He seemed to be in a good place. Now it's about getting him into his best shape, and then I think we can get the best out of this team and try to be successful.
Fabian, you got off to the worst possible start, but you didn't really lose your composure after that. Is that one of the positives you're talking about?
Yeah, I think that's one of the positives. So we reacted well. We had, I think, 2 big chances afterwards. It's a lot of theory to speak now and say a goal would have changed the game. That's why I can't use that phrase. We are, like I said, disappointed that we weren't able to score. But in the end, it's also about keeping the clean sheet. And when you have like such a bad start, you immediately try to chase the game. That opens a little bit for Liverpool as well. And then they have some good players as well where they can make their transition moments. But overall, also the phases we had in the second half, the chance we created, it's just a feeling of disappointing after these kind of games. But we have to keep pushing.
Did the game force you to Mitoma on earlier than you planned?
No, it was planned that he can only play like 30 minutes, and I think it's always good to have a player like Mitoma on the pitch. But I can't say if he would be leading, we might change different. So again, a lot of theory, but in the end, we had to make decisions like we made.
Well done.
Richard, do you want to go first?
Hi Aaron, you said it was an easy decision to put Mo in the squad. You thought it was the right decision to leave him out the other day. So can you explain what changed when you talked to him yesterday, and in terms of how he played, did he sort of see the work ethic you wanted?
I think the reason why he wasn't in Milan was his interview, and then the question is always, and everybody has a different opinion about that. Should he be once, or twice, 3 times, 4 times, 4 months, 12 years? Every manager makes different decisions in that, but he wasn't involved in the game against Milan, and I spoke to him yesterday, and I think, as I usually never say anything about where we talk about, I'm not going to make an exception now, but I think actions speak louder than what has been said. He was in the squad again, and when I had to make my first substitutions, I brought him in, and he performed as I think every fan, including me, would like him to perform today.
Sam?
Is he coming back? Was that his last game? It looked like it might be as he walked around the pitch.
I think he wasn't the only player who walked around the pitch thanking the fans, because the fans deserved a thank you from us. I think our players worked incredibly hard today to keep a clean sheet, and for the first time in weeks, maybe I should say months, we had a little bit of luck with that as well. Also a little bit of luck. I think we did a lot of things well, but we also had a little bit of luck. We've had games where we not conceded a chance, but conceded 3 goals. But today we definitely did concede chances, but they didn't go in. Mo is going to go to the AFCON now. Hope he's going to do very well. And in the meantime, we have to play here without him, with not that many players available at the moment. But the good thing is we play Saturday and then a week in between, and then again Saturday. So yeah, that's the situation.
Johnny?
Arnie, after that, would your hope be that Mo comes back and you haven't played him after again?
We haven't played.
But would your hope be that Mo comes back after AFCON and you have that kind of performance from him again?
Yeah. I think he's a Liverpool player, and the moment he's there, I like to use him when we need him. And today he didn't start, as he did a few times before, but in the 1.5 season before, he almost started. He started, I think, every game. Today when he came in, like I just said, he had a performance like you would want him to give. And he was close to another assist. I think he was shocked to see Virgil next to him in that long sprint. He was close to scoring when Fede almost assisted to him, but he was a threat, and that's very important, because if you play with attackers, you're hoping that they are a threat to the other team. Is that the way you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Hugo was that as well, and Florian was that also.
I know you're not revealing the details of your conversation yesterday, but is that it now? Are you satisfied that issues are resolved, or is there still stuff to resolve over the next month?
No, for me there's no issue to resolve. For me, he's now the same as any other player. You talk to your players if you're happy or unhappy with things, but there's nothing for me to talk about after what happened against Leeds after the game.
So, Arne, although Brighton did create chances, were you more happy in general about the performance in terms of being a bit more solid, being a bit more...
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, this is what people now say. If you won 2-0, then all of a sudden we were solid, but we conceded so much. I think we conceded in one game more than we did in the last 4 games. But now all of a sudden it's solid because we won the game, and when we had a draw, conceding in the last minute against Leeds, I assume that people weren't as positive as after this game. But we had a lot of chances as well. We played, in my opinion, we are starting to play better and better on the ball as well. And from last 5 games we played, we kept 3 clean sheets, and that is something to build on, especially after conceding 4 against PSV and 3 against Nottingham Forest.
Ask about Hugo, obviously another 2 goals today. I mean, how impressed have you been with the start that he has made over the last few months, and also was it
think just before I took him off, there was a moment, I don't know what happened, but I think he hardly couldn't walk anymore because of cramp. So what I see with him, and I see this with all the players we've brought in this summer, they had to adapt to the Premier League, to that intensity. Some of them had, because they were all young. All the players we brought in are young players, except for Alex maybe, but all the others are very young. So adapting to the Premier League of that intensity, some of them had not to adapt to the Premier League, but to Premier League and Champions League. And I see all of them making progress in that. So Hugo had cramp today, but I can assure you that he did probably twice as much as in games in the beginning of the season where I had to take him off with cramp as well. And that is what this league brings. If you cannot be so intense for such a long time, it's so hard to win a game of football, because the best players, athletes in the world play in this league, and we are trying to prepare them more and more, better and better for that, and I can see that progress with most of our signings. I think almost all of them, maybe all of them.
Vinny, then Paul, then we're done.
Just check on Mo. Has he indicated to you that he wants to stay as well?
You told me that you wouldn't ask a question, so... and now all of a sudden you want. Did your boss text you? You have to ask that question.
I just have to check this one. You know what I'm
I haven't listened to your question. That joke was inside my head before you asked it. Ask it one more time.
No, I just wanted to check. Has Mo indicated to you that he wants to stay now as well?
That is, I think you already know the answer to that. So that is what has been said between the two of us in that conversation stays between us. And I think what you see is what you get to know, and that it was in the squad in my first substitution, and all the other things that has been said in that conversation. I never speak about when I speak to Virgil or Mo or any other player. I never told you guys where we talk about.
All done, thank you.